First impression of Albania. Why would you want to travel to Albania? It's not safe. There's rubbish everywhere. The roads are terrible. They drive like maniacs. Dangerous dogs roam the streets. Why would you want to go there? Before we visited Albania, these were some of the things people told us. But is this the truth? Or just some outdated stereotypes repeated by people who've never even been there? In this video, we'll share our first moments, hours and days in this fascinating country. And you can see for yourself if Albania lives up to its reputation or if what we found was something completely different. Let's hit the road.
Morning.
What was that we said on that video about how we have a soft spot for chihuahuas? Nigel and I have a real soft spot for chihuahuas. Welcome to Albania. Good, look, snow on the mountains.
Snow on the mountains.
We watched the trucks disembarking and already we were seeing dogs roaming freely. So this is Durrës and it's about 40 minutes from Tirana, the capital. I'm excited. And we've both just added a new country to our country count. I won't tell you how many Nigel is because he's like way ahead of me. Now we're just waiting to get off. We made our way back down to the van. The ferry was so empty. We still weren't sure how we were going to get out, but we figured we would have to reverse off the ferry.
Yep, looks like everyone's reversing.
And look at some of these cars are turning around in this tiny little area.
Sure.
Back we go.
Okay, grazie. Oh, Dobrodonia, what are you?
And we're guessing we just join these lanes. Oh no, we're going that way.
Race.
I know, let's see who can get there first. We hear your country is very beautiful.
I promise you.
Good.
Everywhere in Albania or some parts of Albania?
Everywhere, we hope, yes. What's the best food?
Best food is
Burek, I thought so.
he's saying burek is the best food. Felaminderit.
Did I say that right? Thank you. We are. We drove on the motorway between Durrës and Tirana, and apart from a few bumps, this road was fine. So we're now driving along a smaller road, a B road, and every 10 metres or 100 metres, there's one of those speed humps. Some of them you can see, like this one's got paint on it. Most of them you can't. Oh, it's a new bit of road here.
So I reckon these have been put out by the locals to
Slow people down.
We already was seen them drive like maniacs.
So these people are just flying past us.
As soon as the speed humps go,
Yeah.
they're driving like maniacs. Look at this guy.
He's waiting to overtake him.
He's gonna go.
And another one. Oh, and a big pothole. A grocery store. Cabbage, onions.
Turn left onto Rugen Bridge Taser.
Holy.
Thank you, Siri.
And now. So we have arrived.
What a great location.
Now you might be wondering, after all those things that we said at the beginning, why we would actually come to Albania. We've also heard lots of great things about Albania, and I've seen a lot of people, particularly on Instagram, visiting here in the last couple of years and talking about what a beautiful country it is, how wonderful the people are and how affordable it is. I mean, the fact that it's outside the Schengen zone is an extra bonus for us. So we wanted to come and see for ourselves if it really is as good as people say, or if some of those stereotypes are true.
Sue's got the soup going, and while that's happening, go on, off you go. Cheeky bugger. Would you be barking at 4 in the morning?
Roosters, barking dogs. So we're not actually staying in Tirana. We're in a place called Camez, which is like an outer suburb of Tirana. This is not somewhere that tourists normally come, except those that come to stay here at this camping place. We found this on Park 4 Night. It gets really good reviews. So we thought it would be a good place to stay, especially because it's close to the airport and Nigel flies out to work tomorrow. Now, Arthur, who runs this place, is really lovely. He speaks really good English. He's very accommodating. So being the second Albanian that we've met after the immigration official, who was the first, we can definitely say that our first impressions of the Albanian people are that they are very friendly and very kind. The campsite is in Arthur's backyard, basically. So here's his house, the Villa Luffy, and we're just camped up here. So he's just set up this space here in the back. There's space enough for 5 campers. These guys have actually left their van there while they go overseas. The dogs are actually quite quiet at night, but I'm sorry about that one barking now. So we have got power here, there's water and grey water disposal, and what is also really cool is there is a toilet and hot shower here. I think this little picnic umbrella is for the summertime when it's warm. Today it's not so nice. But we're about to take a walk into the town to check it out. I actually think it's quite a nice area here. The homes are nice, the street's nice, but it is kind of rural. Like there's chickens everywhere, roosters. These people have sheep in their front yard. And then there's this cow in the field that is wrapped in plastic. Go figure. It's about a 15-minute walk down to the centre of Camez. Lots of fences and bigger houses. Another thing you see a lot of here in Albania is stray dogs. I wonder if she has her puppies somewhere close. We had heard lots about there being rubbish everywhere in Albania, but honestly, coming from the south of Italy, it's actually not that bad here, or maybe it's just this area that we're at. And what we're seeing everywhere is these skip bins on the side of the road. I guess people come and put their rubbish in there. Having said that, I have seen a lot of those skip bins overflowing with rubbish. Okay, this skip bin's a bit more typical. The centre of town looks like any large town with busy roads. And then we noticed this statue of Mother Teresa. We'd forgotten she was Albanian. Buri Buke, and it's obviously popular because people are lining up to go in. And right next door is a butcher shop. Sorry, fellow vegetarians. What do you press to start the conversation?
Normally it's the...
Oh, this.
Vegetarian.
So that's leek.
Leek, yes.
And this one down the bottom?
This one in the bottom is a special pie is just with traditional food, but it's with eggs and butter and milk and eggs.
Okay. Awesome.
You're welcome.
Well, I might try one of those.
Okay, other milk? You are welcome.
Tradition. That's traditional, yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
traditional.
Yeah.
It's called flea.
Flea. Okay.
Just flea.
I try flea.
Okay.
One flea. And one of those.
So we both bought these traditional food. It's kind of like a burek. This is Nigel's one. It's got egg and pastry and everything. He doesn't like it. It's not good.
Can't say I like that.
Just as well it was only 90 cents.
Yeah.
And I got the one with the leeks, and it's really good. Leek and cheese, I think. But it was...
I'm saying no to the flea.
No flea.
That's what it's called.
Flea.
Yeah, flea.
But the, whatever this one is, leeks is really good. So...
Oh, yeah, that's really good.
And they were like 90 cents each, 90 euro cents. So
We've got food in the...
yeah, just over $1 each Australian. We found our way to the little local market. It's like all the fruit and veg. I do love a good market. €1 for oranges. 40 cents for those apples. All the toys. Always toy guns. It's kind of a bit of everything. Okay, we found what looks like a hardware store. Nigel wants to buy a hammer.
Where are you from?
Australia.
Australia? Wow.
And few...
You check it, not here.
yeah. We'll have this probably more... $14.
Yeah, it's like $20 for a hammer.
Was it? Euro. Yeah.
Yeah. There it is.
No, Sue is not with me here in Saudi Arabia. I'm still in Albania. I'm heading out today, but...
The call to prayer. We've seen lots of minarets, so mosques. I thought it was a Christian country, but I guess perhaps it is a Muslim or mixed. 57% of the population of Albania are Muslim. Well, let's talk about first impressions of Albania as I sit here with my morning coffee in the van in Kamez. Now, I had planned to film this segment with Nigel. He was due to fly back here today, but sadly he has had to make an emergency dash to New Zealand to deal with a family emergency down there. Now, full disclosure, I have spent 6 weeks in Albania now, while Nigel has been away at work. During that time, I've spent a couple of weeks here in Kamez. Then I took a road trip with a friend down to the south of Albania. You can see more about that in the next video. And now I'm back in Kamez waiting for Nigel to return. So this will just be my first impressions of Albania. Firstly, is it safe? Well, as a solo female, I can just say that I have never felt safer in any country than I have here. And I've been to over 50 countries in the world. I think all those rumours about Albania being unsafe have just been perpetuated by the media and by pop culture. I mean, most people have seen the movie Taken, and even Lord Voldemort came and hid out in Albania. So while it might be a place that's synonymous with evil in the media, it's certainly not true when you get here. Interestingly, in response to the negative stereotypes perpetuated by the movie Taken, the Albanian government launched an advertising campaign called Taken by Albania, which was aimed directly at Liam Neeson. It's actually quite entertaining, and I'll link it in the description down below. The people here are among the most kind and friendliest people I've met anywhere in those 50 countries that I've travelled to. From the immigration official to the ladies in the bakery to Arthur to everybody I met on that road trip. Everybody here has just been extremely kind and friendly. We have people giving us things all the time here. They're just such lovely, friendly, kind people. And despite their crazy history, which I'll get into at some point, the Albanian people are really proud of their country. We see the flag flying everywhere, and it's such a beautiful flag. Now, maybe it's because we've come from Italy, but we are so used to seeing old churches everywhere. Even the smallest villages in Italy have a grand, huge church, and we're just not seeing that in Albania. We kind of didn't really notice this at first, so maybe it's not a first impression, but it's a really interesting observation about the country. And I did some research and I learned that during the communist time, religion was outlawed. And in 1967, Albania became the first atheist country in the world. And in the late 60s, under that dictator, they destroyed over 2,100 religious buildings here, churches, mosques. And it was illegal to practice religion, even in private, or to even own a religious book like the Bible or the Quran. Since the fall of communism, things have opened up and people are free to worship again as they wish. For most of the Albanian people, apparently they seem quite ambivalent about religion. So far, Albania is very affordable, and that's one of the things that we had heard about the country. We'll keep you updated on prices as we travel around. One thing to note though, it is a cash economy here, so while supermarkets and some restaurants will take card, most places only take cash. The currency here is the Albanian lek, and 100 lek is equivalent to €1. So because we're used to thinking in euros, doing that conversion is quite easy for us. In terms of food, it seems that meat features very heavily on the menu here. And of course, I'm a vegetarian, and I don't know that I'd be willing to eat much meat here anyway. I haven't seen very good refrigeration in the butcher shops. When Nigel's back, we'll go out and we can show you some of the traditional food. For now, it's just cheese burex for me. I can say that the fruit and the vegetables that we've been seeing and buying in the markets is very, very fresh and very reasonably priced as well. So there you have it. That's my first impressions of Albania. We are so excited to explore this country further, and we hope that you're excited to come along for the journey with us. But right now, it's time to take Nigel to the airport.
We're just commenting that this is the first time that Susie's driven since September last year. Is that right? I'll have to get you driving a bit more so it's not such a shock. We're off. Look out,
Turn left onto
Jesus, look out, chickens.
Look out, puck. So this is the first time you've driven on the
Pos on the right side.
right-hand side of the road, yeah?
We've driven it in the UK before.
Yeah, and those tiny little narrow roads, so...
The airport is very close to where we were staying, but getting there meant driving down some dodgy back roads.
turn right.
Yeah, they're pretty impatient, these buggers. Stuck behind a truck anyway. Silly fella. Looks pretty basic here and chaotic. As we can't go down.
You can't, mate.
What's this idiot doing parked right here?
Just parking in the middle of the fucking road, making life difficult.
God damn.
You're gonna have to wait, mister.
What the hell? Oh, it doesn't get any easier. Doing the goodbye laugh. Fair to say this is pretty chaotic. I've got no idea where I'm going here. Got to try and figure this airport out here. Okay, here we are. This looks promising. Welcome to Tirana Airport. There's a helicopter.
If you're new around here, Nigel flies a helicopter in the Middle East on a 6 weeks rotating roster. He went out to the desert to deal with dodgy roads himself. And meanwhile, I'm staying with the van here, working on videos and our travel blog, and exploring a bit more of Albania. I join a friend on a road trip down to the south of the country. So I hope you'll join us for that adventure. See you next time.